What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So, welcome back, Shannon. I know you're out there in those mean, well, not streets. You're on the bay. You're on the boat. I don't know what they call that. Mean waterways.
Hey, the Times family has come up a little bit, from my youth.
Right. No, that's awesome. It reminded me of the movie Us that you have not seen because you're not a Jordan Peele. Is it Jordan Peele? Yeah, fan. But there's a clip. If I can find it, I'm gonna clip it out and send it to you because this is you on the boat. But yeah, welcome back to the show. So for all those who tuned in last week, so Chris Abcon was nice enough to guest host. Again, I hate talking into the vacuum to myself. So Chris was an excellent special guest. So definitely tune into those episodes last week if you missed them. But this week, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursday will probably be a throwback Thursday as well. So those have been pretty popular where we go back into the vault. So check out the last one for last week was Mr. Johnny Jones Jr. He is a founder and entrepreneur, and as well as I guess an advocate for veterans and people of color in this space. Definitely tune into that one. And then Friday was everything else. So without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article comes from bleepingcomputer.com. It's been written by Bill Toulis. The title of this one is Bounty Offered for Secret NSA Seeds Behind NIST Elliptical Curves Algorithm, right? It says algo, but that's algorithm. So there's a bounty that's been put out, right? 12,288. And when you think of bounty, right, don't think of it in the negative connotation, like, dog, the bounty hunter is going to get somebody, right? Like this is one of those things where they offer money like for assistance, right? Like you've seen this with some other big companies, right? Like was it Google, Microsoft? Who was it that does the bounty? No, Apple. It's Apple, right? That does it. Is that right?
Yeah, it's Apple.
Apple. Yeah, I was like, it's a big company, one of them $1 trillion companies. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It's Apple that does the bounties, but this one, they're offering a bounty of $12,288 for the first person to crack the NIST elliptical curve seeds and discover the original phrases that were hashed to generate them, right? So the reason for this is I think they're just trying to get ahead of the game, right? With everything that's going on in cyber right now, you see all this hacking that's going on, these people that are getting caught with malware, the social engineering to get things. What they're trying to do is get ahead of the game, right? So the hope here is that, hey, if we can figure out, or if it can be figured out how this was done, it's one of those things where what do you say? Iron sharpens iron type thing, right? So
right.
You want it to be where, hey, if you can figure this out, like this will make us get better, right? And we're seeing this, like it's always been the case, but COVID has kind of ramped it up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people working from home, doing things on their computers, teleworking, things of that nature. And I think that's what they're trying to do here, right? So they have a bounty of $12,288 if you can figure it out, right? And they say they'll triple the bounty to $36,864 if the award recipient chooses to donate the money to any 501c3 charity, right? Which is a good thing, right? And me and you were talking about this, Ryan, because I was like, well, how do they guarantee that, right? You know what I mean? Like I was right. Like, just say, yeah, I'm going to give it to charity or whatnot. You were like, nah, they can do this. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But it was announced by cryptography specialist Filippo Valsorda. He raised the amount with the help of recognized figures in cryptography and cybersecurity, right? So Johns Hopkins University professor Matt Green, PKI and Chromium contributor Ryan Sleevey, browser security expert Chris Palmer, logjam attack developer David Adrian, and AWS cryptography engineer Cole McCarthy. So yeah, elliptical curve cryptography, ECC, right? Widely used in the world today, right? Like you have the different NIST elliptical curves they talk about, right? You got your P192, P224, P256, P384, P521, and those were in the early 2000s they introduced that, right? So like, and I'll tell you, here's the thing, like when it comes to cryptography, like whenever I have to do any type of certification or studying or anything, cryptography is one of those things, like it just bedevils me. I'm like, what in the world is going on with all this math? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it'll put you to sleep.
It will.
Some people love it, but yeah, it'll put you to sleep.
It will. I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those people. I'm going to put it out there, but I realize the importance of it, right? It's one of those things we use in our everyday lives, whether or not we realize it or not, right? When just simple stuff you don't really think of, right? When it comes to encryption for like wireless, you know what I mean, or things you're doing when you're online browsing, just things we just take for granted nowadays. Like cryptography is a part of that, right? And so offering this bounty, again, I think it's just a way of them trying to get ahead of the curve if for whatever reason it is figured out, right? You don't want to be reactive, you want to be proactive to these things nowadays. And I'm seeing that a lot more with what's going on in the world today. Again, as I mentioned before, since the days of COVID, it's just one of those things where cybersecurity is getting ramped up and getting more attention, right? Because we're even seeing with the current United States administration, they're putting a lot of money and time and effort into this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's out there. You know what I mean? You can have, I mean, if you want to do it for yourself and be selfish, you know, you can have 12,000 some odd dollars, you know, but if you want to donate to charity, it goes up to 36, right? So they're out there, they're trying to figure this stuff out. They're trying to get ahead of the game, and I'm all for it. You know what I mean? So modern cryptography, this is what it's based on, is the ECC, right? Elliptical curve cryptography. So this is the world today. Like, this is where everything is going, and it's good to see that they're out here doing this and offering this bounty, right? Not in a negative way, but offering this reward, they should say, I guess, but they don't put it that way. They call it a bounty. I guess that sounds cooler, right? So, Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
No, I think it's a good idea. So in my opinion, or my thought process, I was like, you sure he's not locked in the vault somewhere? Like, you think it'll be in a safe somewhere, the original passphrases or whatever they use to hash. But I guess not, right? Like when you're trying to experiment or create something new, typically you don't really think that far ahead, right? So it kind of does baffle me that no one knows what the original phrases were or terms or whatever was hashed. Um, but again, like if someone does know, if it was written on a sticky note somewhere back in the
Well,
day,
well,
it would be, yeah.
the creator died earlier this year, right? So, like, if it is a secret, it died with him.
Ah,
Right.
okay. See that piece I was missing. Okay, so that does make more sense. I was like, how does not someone somewhere should know what this is? But that makes more sense now. And then in case it was shared or something like that, they probably do want to get ahead of it to finally crack the code and then be able to sunset it, because that's what's ultimately going to happen, because it will be no good anymore once they do crack it, because that information will be shared with someone at some time. So yeah, I find it fascinating, but yeah, like for me, cryptography has always been the me installing a KG, me upgrading a KG, or putting in remote routes, like not the math. This is not my cup of tea. And then even when you're staying for the CSP, there's a whole domain, and like it's rough to get through, unless the stuff fascinates you, but it just doesn't. It doesn't. It's not thrilling reading for me, right? It's not. Some people really enjoy it. They enjoy the math. It sets off fireworks in their brain, puts me instantly to sleep. It's melatonin. Is what it is. But no, I found it fascinating. That's why we kind of talked about it in the chat. They were like, you know what, that should be a good topic, especially for Monday. But yeah, good luck to whomever is out here trying to crack the code. Hopefully, they do donate to charity to boost the amount, because they're already going to get the praise, right? And probably a job too once they figure it out. So it would be nothing for them to turn over to a 501c and triple the reward. But I mean, hey, this is America. If you want to keep it, keep it. I'm cool with that too. But yeah, Shaw One will be sunset pretty soon, because I'm sure there's a GPU farm somewhere right now trying to crack the code. So, but yeah, I think that pretty much does it for this episode. Again, I forgot to say, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit a bell. There's a bell involved. Share us with your nerdy friends. Continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics. Wednesday discussion. Thursday will be a throwback. I haven't figured out which one I want to do yet, so I got to go back through the archives. We have almost 500 episodes to choose from. But I try to highlight something that may have been missed in the past, or someone who should get some more shine, or they're out there in the community doing something great. Then Friday's everything else. So tune in if you want to hear us talk about movies, books, games. Shannon's watched the Boys, or Gen V, so that's me. Castlevania, stuff like that. Loki season 2, like we talk about all that type of stuff. So uh, hit us up by all the websites to buy our name. Give me a person at RY Security Guy. It's RY Security Guy. You can find me on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.